Woo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. So I've been doing a series about knives you can EDC, like different things, skinners, small drop points, things like that. And today I wanted to bring on a different kind of knife that you can EDC, and not all of these are generally EDC knives, and that's why I wanted to make these videos. You have your standard EDC knives, then you have knives that are purposefully built or made, or have special reasons and things like that they're made for. So today I want to do 4 survival knives, right? Camp survival knives, not like a woodland survival knife, not like a Rambo survival knife with the hollow handles and all that, but 4 survival knives that you can EDC. Now, I have criteria on how these 4 came about. It has to be within 6 to 7 inches in blade length. That's it. So if you're saying, oh, but what about that? What about the off-grid Tracker X2? That is a survival knife you can EDC. It is. It doesn't fit the parameter. And you're going to see a whole bunch of different knives that you're going to wish were in there that just can't because they don't fit in the parameters. Also, the other thing comes down to sheath. It has to be something you can EDC, which means it has to be something you can ride on the belt without this giant, I don't have anything up here, giant nylon sheath with all kinds of crap hanging off of it. It can't be anything like that. And so if you're thinking like, oh, what about a Becker? Okay, if it has that crappy sheath, then guess what? It doesn't work as an EDC. It's just got a big jumbo sheath that isn't exactly tight and right and out of sight. So we are going to just talk about 4 that fit the parameters of a workable sheath for EDC, an EDC sheath, not an EDC in the wood sheath, and between 6 and 7 inches in the blade length. So all 4 of these are excellent knives. All 4 of them are really well done, and all 4 of them have handles that you should have on a blade. So we're going to go over them right now. I just held this one up. This is my favorite. This is the Esee 6. I love it. I love my sheath. I put all my cordage on there and my ferro rod and all kinds of stuff just so I can always have this thing ready to go with my compass. So there is that one. And of course, the Esee is within the parameter. I don't know exactly how long it is. I think it's exactly 6. I think so anyway. And no, it's not. It's 6.5 inches long in the blade length. So there, my Esee 6. Also, and staying with that tradition, we're going to have the Ontario Rat 7. Another really good one, and this one is just at the edge, I believe. This is about 7 inches. It's probably why they call it the 7. So this is the longest one of all of them, and for an EDC survival knife sometimes you want shorter, but this thing just fits, and because of this it really works. Now I want to say, I don't know if this came with it or if I bought it. But if it didn't come with it, and if it did come with the nylon sheath, then I would have to take this thing back and switch it out for a different one. But because this is the sheath I have on it, I'm calling it. Now, this is the Rat. This is Esee. And if you'll notice on the Esee, it'll say right there, Randall's Adventure Training. RAT. The people who made Esee designed for Ontario. So the Rat knives are actually Randall's Adventure Training knives, who left Ontario to make their own company and did a better fit, finish, and heat treat. But it's essentially pretty close to the same thing. I mean, you can definitely see the differences. The Esees are just a little bit better. The heat treats on these, there's no better. There's just no better. But you have this phenomenal knife. So outside of that, great competition for the Esee right here is a Steel Will Roamer. This thing is just a great knife. Great knife. Fantastic. And this is the sheath that came in, and it is another really, really good EDC package. You could put that right there. Now, it came with a retention strap, but I like to wear it low, so when it's on the belt, you don't get this because it's literally against your leg, so it doesn't go anywhere. But I like to wear, I mean, not low, but I like it this to be low, and I like my thing to be high up. Now, if I wanted to get something like this, a hard clip that doesn't bend, I could absolutely pick one up, and they're dirt cheap, and put one on this. I just haven't had to yet. And the other one in this category is going to be very, very recognizable. It is the SRK by Cold Steel. Freaking phenomenal knife. Now, unlike the rest, this one's got a really narrow blade. It's the only thing I don't care for in a lot of knives, because I like a nice, robust, wide blade when I'm talking about survival, because when you're talking about trenching and things like that, you want a wider blade. But this knife is so good that it really doesn't matter. This is a really, really good knife, and this is the smallest handle of all, and it is 100% appropriately sized. So all of them, and we'll take them out, and we'll do a little side by side, and really show you these guys, what they look like stacked against each other, and they're all just freaking great. Freaking great. So you're talking about, now you can really see the Rat is definitely longer, and I think the shortest one at pretty much an even 6 or a 6 1/4 is going to be that one. Is going to be the Cold Steel. It's also the only one without the black coating, but I mean, just all of them are just amazing knives. Now, let's see blade size for blade size. You can see the steel wheel next to the Rat. You can see the steel wheel next to the Esee. And you can see how really, really close these are. And just overall blade shape and whatnot. Now, I have to say that the black coating on the Esee is probably the best. It is really, really good. I did start losing some on the edge here, where I haven't really lost any on the edge here yet. I got a couple skid marks, but that's pretty much it. This one's really good. I've used this one less, even though I like it more than a lot of my knives. I've used this one less. I've only used it a few times, and this one doesn't have the coating, but next to the steel wheel, we can see the size. So the Esee is definitely the shortest of all, but it's not a small knife. It's not a short knife. It's appropriately sized. Try to get them all pretty much to the same point here, make it easier for you guys to get an idea, and that's it right there. But every single one of them, great. Handle for handle, this handle is really, really good. It's a bit squared off feeling right here. You can see that hard ridge. It definitely has maybe the least contouring, and even so, it's still really freaking good. This has the most contouring. This thing is just super comfortable. It's a really high quality rubber. There's a lot of knives I don't like with rubber grips. Like, you'll see a lot of the K-bar stuff and with that solid round rubber mound. But those, especially with use over time, they begin to warp and kind of get all mental looking. Where this guy right here, it won't do that. It's a condensed rubber. It's really, really nice. It fits great. I love the fact that all the pins are hollow for lashing and things like that. You can use the last one or the front one as a lanyard hole, or you can do both and you can make a D-guard with a lanyard. So it has multiple opportunities to do different things with it. But this one, and it does have the exposed pommel, it's the only one. This is a fantastic knife. Look up the steel wheel roamers. Awesome. And the grip man, it's so well rounded everywhere, yet it comes in and out. You can see, look at this. It's not a slab side like these two, the rest of the three are all slab sides. They're straight on the sides. There's no of this going that way. They still work though. They still work great. This one, the Esee, is the most comfortable grip. It's a lot like the Rat, obviously. When they designed them for Ontario, they did it that way. When they did it on their own, they just did it better. There's no hard edge right here. You see how round that is? There's no squared off angles all the way through here. It's just round. And I really want to give you guys a good look at that because that's important when you're talking about the grip. The overall comfort, you can see the hard ridge right there, that dark line. See how this one just starts and rounds? And it's kind of hard to pick up, but it just rounds where this one squares. And from here, you can really see it. You can see this point, how it's like a sharper angle. It's very, very boxy, where this one is rounded off, and it stays that way through the knife completely. The inside grip is the exact same. The difference is the contouring. This one is square, this one is round. Same with the spine. The spine on this one is more round than the inner grip, which I think is a little weird. You'd think you'd want it reversed, but it is what it is. It's still a really, really great knife. They do have exposed pommels. I forgot for lanyard holding. But this one, even though you look at it and you think that they're the same, it's a little bit thinner and it's a lot more contoured. The liners do help for shock as well. It's just a better knife. It's just a better knife. And everybody says, oh, but I've done everything, blah, blah. I'm not saying this is a bad knife. This is a great knife. This is just better. So deal with it. Next, we'll get into the grip with this one. Now, this has the worst grip of all of them, but it still has a good grip, right? And a lot of people, it's too small, it's too boxy, it's too rough. It works. It works. I don't care. And in a gloved hand especially, this feels really good. In a gloved hand, this might be the best one gloved. Not too sure. I don't usually do a lot of... Oh, you know what? I have a glove. I have gloves sitting right here. Let's figure out, because there's a lot of people that wear gloves, and I never do a video with gloves, and I've said it before in different videos. It's because not everybody wears the same kind of gloves, but everybody has skin, right? So your gloves might be completely different, but your hands, aside from size, are going to be pretty much the same. In a gloved hand, because it's such a small grip, it feels really, really good. That extra girth in the glove makes it sit really well. So it makes it feel less small. Very good. And because of this really harsh grip, it locks, pushing my thumb, it really locks in there pretty well. So the grip on this guy is really A-okay. If I was going to go like a best to worst, and that would be unfair because there's no worst. This is one of my favorite knives. It is. But if I had to say a survival knife and what they're for, I would put this one at 4 compared to these. I would put the Rat at 3 only because of that boxy grip. And we're going to get into that right now with the glove. So I can feel that it's pretty slick. Like my thumb is grabbing nothing with the glove on it. There's just nothing. And with the glove, it makes the oversized handle even more oversized. But if you're a gargantuan like me, that's okay. That's just okay. If you have smaller hands, though, you might not really care for the Ontario grip. And if you have an Ontario and you have smaller hands, then you're going to say, oh, but no, I have smaller hands and the grip is great. Hold one of these while holding one of these and tell me if you feel the same way, because it is very, very different. What also is very different is the price. This is a lot cheaper, so a lot of people are going to go with this thinking, well, why would I spend more on that? It's just because it's a better knife. It has the best warranty, best heat treat. So as far as comfort, my choice, this is the 4th choice out of the group overall. comfort-wise, this is definitely going to be number 4 comfort-wise. That one is more comfortable, but only literally by a little bit. Literally by a little bit. So then it's going to come down to this guy with a glove. This feels really, really good, and it's got that nice rubber coating. It's not going anywhere turning it. But you could see there's actually some drag when I push my thumb here. Just fantastic. In a gloved hand, this thing feels great. Now compared to this, it's just a world away. As far as the grip, it's so different. It has a little bit better texturing than the Ontario, and so when I press my thumb, it's still moving, unlike the other 2 rubber grips. But it's moving. It's less slick than the Ontario. The difference is, with a glove, without a glove, this thing feels phenomenal. It just, the way they did the rounding here and where they put the girth, how they did it, it's a handhold for pretty much any hand. Literally, pretty much any hand is going to grab this knife and say, hot diggity dog, I freaking love it. It's really hard, like, to see the use. When I put it this way, you could really see the use in this blade. The coating is just really good. It almost looks brand new. And certain, like, if I hold it like this, you can't see anything. Boop, right there. It's all black. Like, damn, that looks brand new. He never used that damn thing. But yeah, no, this thing gets used. This thing gets used and pounded on. It's just great. I mean, it's just a great knife. I freaking love it. And the thing is, I have enough knives to rotate to where I don't have to over abuse my knives and wear them out as fast as some other people. So where somebody could use theirs for a year and shred off the black, they might be using it constantly and solely, where I have hundreds of knives and I can just easily rotate. But overall grip with a glove, I'm going to say the steel will, number 1. Number 2, number 3, and number 4. Overall grip in the hand without a glove, I'm going to put the Esee first, without a doubt. The steel will second. This one, and then this one. This one just has, I'm going to say, the worst grip out of the 4, but there's only 4 choices. So when I say worst grip, it still has a good grip. Just not as good as these 3. So for all the people who are about to go crazy because they love their Ontarios, understand there's 4 choices here. One has to be the last of the 4, and this just is it. That's it. Now, as far as blade size, I mean, come on, it's 7 inches long. It's beastly. So when it comes down to blade size, I really like the size of this blade. I mean, come on, man. It's awesome. So the Ontario, I would put in first as far as blade size. In 4th is going to be this guy. It's just a little small. It's a little narrow, and it's a little shorter just compared to the rest. Girth wise, though, that's nice. Now all of them are going to be pretty good as far as thickness, but I mean, I think this one is probably the thickest. I think so, but yeah, it is. It's the thickest. The SRK blade stock, this is number 1 without a doubt. But as far as blade, number 1, that one is number 4, and I don't know. These things are pretty much equal. I would have to give it to the Esee though, because it's got like a 1/4 inch on it. But they're so close. Now, we're going to call tight grips right up here, nice and close. I have to say the choils on these guys both are identical, and they work great. The choil here is not so good. This is a really small choil. I don't know why the Esee, when they did it on the Esee, it's kind of hard to tell, but the Esee choil is bigger. So here you can see, and this is not, I'm not making it up, look how much of the edge, and that's the edge directly on my finger. So if I press, boop, you can, well, it's kind of hard to do that angle, but you can see there's a mark on the finger, where on the Esee, it's kind of really hard to show you guys. Okay, so right here, look at that. There's actually space between my finger, see that, and the end of the choil. So the choil on this guy is a little bit bigger than the choil on the Ontario. The SRK doesn't have one, so we can't mention that. And this one right here is the same thing, where there's a little bit of space. It has a really nice choil. So when you're talking about that, you're talking about that. So overall, I mean, obviously, this is my top dog right here. I just love this knife. It's fantastic. Esee does a great job. But overall, all 4 of these are phenomenal carries. Phenomenal on just carrying. Phenomenal in the woods. Anywhere you want to go and use a knife, all 4 of these are going to be absolute great choices. Price for price, you can probably get an SK5. This one is San Mai. You can probably get the SK5 version really cheap. I think you can find them around $30 somewhere in there. The steel will is a great price. I know these are sub $100, and I think these are sub $100. I'm not sure. It might be more. I'm not sure. But this one is definitely the most expensive, and that's what turns it off from a lot of people. The difference is, like, when it comes down to warranty and customer service, this has the worst customer service almost that I've ever seen. Cold Steel's customer service is terrible. Good luck if you have an issue with one, getting it resolved. It's really difficult. These guys, no questions asked, 100% the warranty. Just send it in. That's it. That's it. You send it back. They send you a new one. You don't even have to explain why you broke it or how it broke. They don't care. If you break one, they will replace it. Thing is, they have the best heat treat in the knife business, in the knife world. Esee's heat treats are second to none. These things are the best. But literally, if something happens, if something was to happen, send it back to them. They send you a new one. No questions asked. That is great customer service, and they always answer. So that's it for these. I love that. If you're looking for a really great EDC that is a survival knife EDC, you cannot go wrong with all 4 of these. This one's my favorite, but all 4, all 4 and any of the 4, you will not find a reason to say, I hate that freaking knife. That just will not come into play. You are going to love them all. So that said, right now I'm doing a video cooking up some beef ribs real slow, and I got a 3-hour cook going on with those. Whew, guys, wait till you, dude, it's so easy to make, and you try them, you're gonna love them. So watch that video next. That's it for this one. Hi, I'm Donnie B all day. Till next knife.